All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are back here again. My name is Rob Boyd. I'm here in the studio. Want to encourage you to keep interacting with us at hashtag Cisco Live, no matter what your platform is. There are probably a team of Cisco people ready to interact with you there and answer your questions. We want to keep this moving. Steve is out on the show floor staring at me intently through the monitor. And Steve, I'm going to let you set up what you've got out there, sir.
Thank you so much, Rob. I appreciate it. Yeah, down here in the world of solutions, right in the heart of it in the Cisco Showcase, got brunch happening all the way around us. I wanted to show everybody here on the live stream one of the coolest things I think here at the show. It's the wayfinding system that we use to guide guests, visitors, attendees here at Cisco Live into Cisco and show them what's happening across this massive showcase. And to do that, we're using Cisco Spaces. And this over here is one of my favorite human beings in the world. And I'm not just saying that. She's a dear friend of mine, Katrina Spang-Hansen. Katrina, what are we showing people and how are you using this to storytell about Cisco?
So typically what we do here is we have this map right here. It's an interactive map, again, built on Spaces. And now, for the purposes of this, we're going to pretend that Steve is a network engineer. I know, a stretch. And that Steve has been to Cisco Live a bunch of times. And so now, when attendees come up here, it is, for those of us who've been here a bunch of times, we've organized the showcase a little bit differently this year to sort of showcase this edge-to-edge portfolio that we were talking about. So in the past, you've seen, like, we have security, we had networking. Well, now we have organized it around about 4 different journeys that you can take, things that are relevant to the IT environment in your organization. So over here, you'll see we have digital resilience. And that's essentially observability with Thousand Eyes, Splunk. We have security demos here that also relate to that. And then we're going to move over here to the middle of it. That's future-proof workplaces, right? And that's where we have all the networking stuff.
So Katrina, just before we go through each of the different segments, how would you guide me to where I want to go? So I'm a networking guy, I want to see secure AI. How do you get me to it?
So what I do is, so when I find out what you're into, it's about finding you what you're looking for. And there's a lot in here, so that can sometimes be a little bit complicated. So what we do here is we go in here and there's a search function, right? And so I go, so Steve, what are you interested in?
I want secure AI. AI is what I'm here to talk about,
so
right?
What we're going to do is we're going to type in AI, and then we're going to type in security, right?
Okay.
And
we've got about 45 seconds left in this segment. Let's get me to where I want to go.
So when we're going to look here, and we're going to see all the different things. So say something you're interested in here. Just tell me.
All right, I want to go to AI agentic frameworks. That's perfect.
Fantastic. And so now, right here,
there we go.
See? So now you get directions, right? And now we can show you where it is on the floor. And as we're walking through there, we can also see some other stuff that you might be interested in the same area that relates to this, right? And for some of the folks that are out there who are looking for security, security is embedded in all these different 4 journeys that we have here in the showcase floor. So that would typically, so you can see here, it'll take you all the way over here to where we are showcasing that. So
and cool, so meaning as I'm on the way, you might be able to say, well, yes, this is where you want to go, but Steve, why don't you also check out along the way we're empowering your teams and delighting customers, or stop into the industrial operations space and you can basically add something to the story,
exactly.
Right?
So the idea here is that there's so much stuff in here that you may not have thought of that may be relevant to what you're looking for.
Love that. Katrina, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Rob, let's go back to you in the studio.
Steve, I want to take a quick look at a video with Mauricio Cruz that Lauren did for us. Let's take a look.
Hello, it's Lauren here, and I am with Mauricio Cruz, Senior Director in our Product Management Group for Provider Connectivity. That's a lot. It's a lot of great stuff, too. Mauricio, looking forward to talking to you today. Thank you for your time. Can you tell us what the biggest challenges are that we're seeing in our service provider and enterprise customers in this AI era?
Hi, Lauren. Thank you for the interview. Definitely many challenges for our customers, but if I can sum it up, the first one is how to leverage AI to improve the efficiency of their networks, how they plan, how they operate, how they troubleshoot, and how they deploy networks. The next one is, as we have heard through the Cisco Live, AI requires a lot of bandwidth, a lot of capacity, and a lot of power. So they're coming to us asking us, how can we help them build power efficient, high capacity, easy to deploy networks. So that's what we've been doing, and we've been introducing this for quite a few months now with Agile Services Networking.
Amazing. How is Cisco supporting our customers on this AI journey, and what are some of the innovations we've made with our Agile Services Networking?
Yes. So we're supporting them by doing many things. First, on the products themselves, we've recently introduced a new class of routing portfolio for service providers and hyperscalers. So we have a full set of products from back-end networks, front-end networks, high capacity, and we're also helping our service provider customers refresh and renovate their Metro Edge network with a new set of portfolio based on Silicon One, going from sub 100 gigs to terabits of capacity. All of these power efficient, compact, ready for the AI networks of the future. And we're also introducing AI capabilities in our automation suite. This is very important for our customers, being able to have the knowledge of being able to do predictive, prescriptive automation.
Yes, I love that. I love the proactive, like you said, a prescriptive approach. So tell me, what's next on the horizon on this AI trajectory, and where can we go to learn more information?
Yeah, thank you, great question. So what is next? Of course, in the portfolio, we will continue to refresh. AI innovation is moving at a rapid speed, so we will continue to refresh our portfolio, go for the bigger speeds and feeds from 800 gig to 1.6 terabit Ethernet, 3.2, and whatever comes next, liquid cooling. But also in the context of automation, I think the next step is an agentic framework. Everyone's talking about agentic framework. We have an agentic framework today that is helping our customers how to prescribe what they need to do and how to troubleshoot what they need to do. And for more information, you can go to www.cisco.com, search for Agile Services Networking, and you'll find all of the information you need.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Mauricio. We are going to send it back to the studio.
Excellent, Lauren. Lauren, thank you so much. Thank you, Mauricio, as well. And so it's interesting, as you guys are covering service provider over there, the person that I have always gone to for my service provider education, because that's been a hard-won education for me. Please welcome Kevin Wollenweber. I'm going to get your title right. SVP and GM, Data Center and Internet Infrastructure.
You got it.
Okay. Whew. See, it helps if I read and just slow down a little bit. Well, my friend, it's so good to have you back because, well, you've shifted a little bit in your role, and it sounds like you're in a really good place to help us coalesce a bit of the information that we've seen here. Whole bunch of new complexity, but a really clean message of simplicity and consolidation in a lot of areas. Is that indeed what was planned for?
Yeah, 100%. And I think it all started from the keynote. And with G2, as he kicked off, having a chief product officer and having someone with kind of a singular view and vision and direction allows us to get a lot more consistency across the portfolio. And you and I we always talked about service providers. We've now brought together data center networking, hyperscale, service provider into one organization. Because as we look forward at AI, the tools and technologies that we're using in those spaces are getting a lot more consistent. So having them together allows us to be a lot more efficient in what we do.
Well, it's funny because we've always talked about this, and I feel like it's Cisco's strength is the amount of things and data we can draw upon, and we're out encouraging customers to realize how valuable that data is. And now it feels like we're giving them the tools. Observability is taking off like wildfire, but we also have greater tools for doing that than we ever had before. Tell me, how, in your perspective, is infrastructure changing to really pull this type of things from us? Why is it needed now?
Well, think about November of 2022 when this kind of Gen AI wave started. We wouldn't have even been talking about what we needed to change in the network for AI. But since then, most of the builds and most of the work we've been doing have been with the large hyperscalers. So we built things like Silicon One. We built some amazing technologies, allow them to scale out these massive training clusters, and they're building, their training models, they're building massive models, they're taking all the data that they have and they're firing them at the models to get them to learn.
Right.
What we're going to see as we evolve is what we call inference, and it's going to be the usage of those models, and a lot of that's actually going to be with our enterprise customers. So we're in that kind of transition of building the models into using the models, and the users are going to be those enterprises we work with.
Yeah, I really feel for the enterprise right now, and it's same with us to a certain extent, maybe even more so for us, because we have to stand up and act like experts in an area that all of us are learning as we go. So it's not as if anyone already holds all the answers and they're just slowly leaking it out, and enterprises are under incredible pressure to make something happen in a unique way. But I'm curious, what do you brag about from a Cisco perspective as of the announcements this week when you want to go out and say, yeah, Cisco's the right company for you to have faith in as we build this together?
Yeah, first of all, it starts with the technology components. And we talked a lot about Silicon One. We talked a lot about our partnership with NVIDIA, the leader in the AI space right now, taking our technologies into their ecosystem, bringing their technologies into our ecosystem. Now we have all the tools and pieces that we need. But when you think about enterprise, I think one of the things that's always made Cisco strong in the enterprise is our ability to reach deep into that ecosystem, bring partners, bring the channel ecosystem, bring our technologies, and deliver simple, easy-to-use solutions. So when we talk about things like Hyperfabric, what we're basically doing is taking those building blocks that the hyperscalers were using and putting them into simple, easy-to-use, kind of easy button type of approach to consume. Yeah.
Yeah, and because we got to remove as much of that complexity as we can, because there's a lot of natural complexity we're going to be dealing with regardless.
Yeah.
So let's build a foundation that at least gives us a good starting point. I'm curious about our partnerships. Obviously, NVIDIA feels like they partner with everybody, but we've done some really in-depth stuff, and that's not new for this. We've announced previous stuff, but UCS continues to accelerate, and so many other components, even to, and beyond them, load balancing with our Celium purchase and things like this. But what do these partnerships mean for us and being able to execute on that?
First of all, I think with NVIDIA, we're doing things differently from the traditional OEMs, where we're not just reselling their technologies, we're actually doing technology innovation with them. So we've taken our Silicon One, which we think is industry leading and is powering a lot of these hyperscale AI builds, and we're embedding it into their reference architecture so that as they build large clusters and move into enterprise, our enterprises can do it with technologies that they know and love and understand from Cisco. We're also taking their what they call Spectrum X, and we're bringing it into the Cisco ecosystem.
Ethernet stuff,
Because the crazy thing about AI, although it uses all the same networking, storage, and same components of a network of the past, the future network has multiple networks, one to connect the GPUs, one to connect into the AI ecosystem. And so building simple and easy to use technologies, operations, management, orchestration on top of great silicon and hardware components is just something Cisco's always been able to do.
So what I like is that you're saying that's a bi-directional relationship. There's stuff that we provide to them and that they provide to us, which is really where we always want to be in a partnership. Final point, I think it was Chuck that said something along the lines of, in the 90s, and you were at Cisco during this time frame. I came in right as it was ending, and it was just just orders and bandwidth and how big of routers could we sell and how big of pipes could we do. It was a great time. He was saying that it's just like that now from what he's seeing, but faster, but more aggressive. And I don't think that, I honestly feel like that's a true statement. That's not hyperbole. What do you think?
100%. And it's funny because I have been here for almost 30 years, and it's the fastest moving time I've ever seen in technology. What we see in AI, what was maybe sounded impossible yesterday is happening today, and it'll be very, very different tomorrow. And so we've got to stay ahead. We've got to continue to innovate. We've got to bring security into the network, because as agents are running around the network and you have billions of agents, we have to think of those as threats and potentially bad actors, and think about fusing security into the network in different ways. And so only a company like Cisco can actually bring together all of these different pieces into one place.
Well, that's perfect. Kevin Wellenweber, I want to thank you for everything that you continue to do and educating me on what we're doing going forward. We're going to talk about campus security, I believe, next on Center Stage. So please stay right where you are. Enjoy this next dive into the detail. We still have a whole lot more coming. We'll see you on the other side after this Center Stage presentation. Take care.